The price of forgetting is not loss. The price of forgetting is repetition. I learned this at 3:44 in the morning. My Danchi apartment in Tokyo was always filled with a certain kind of noise. The distant rumble of the subway felt like a dull headache. The old refrigerator would groan and sigh. The frantic tapping of my own keyboard. But tonight was different. Everything was silent. The silence was so heavy, so thick, it felt like ink, and it forced me to lift my head from the pile of design sketches I'd been buried in. The computer screen blinked, its cursor motionless. I'd been working for 36 hours straight. The air was pungent with the smell of cold coffee and stale instant noodles. It was stifling. I needed to wash my face. The hallway was pitch dark. This apartment always carried the scent of mildew and old cigarette smoke, but as I walked towards the bathroom, a new smell seeped in. It was ozone, like the air right after a thunderstorm. And dust, so much dust. I reached for the light switch and flipped it on. The fluorescent light buzzed, then flooded the tiny bathroom with its cold glow, illuminating the yellowed tile walls. I turned the faucet. The water started with a loud gush, then got softer, softer, and then it stopped. Not the water. The sound. The faucet wasn't broken. The sound itself had been erased. I could see the stream flowing into the sink, but there wasn't a single whisper of it. I put my hand under the stream. It was cold, but the sensation was bizarre, like touching a solid block of jelly. Confused, I lifted my head and looked into the mirror. My breath didn't fog the glass. I blinked. My reflection, Kato, was still there, but something was deeply wrong. My eyes, they were empty. And behind me, reflected in the mirror, the hallway was no longer dark. It was bathed in a sickly yellow light, like streetlights piercing through a thick, unnatural fog. A shiver that had nothing to do with the cold ran down my spine. I spun around. The hallway was indeed glowing. The yellow light wasn't coming from the window. It seemed to radiate from the walls themselves. The smell of ozone and dry dust hit my nose again, making me cough. My apartment had changed. The sketches on my desk were gone. The computer was off. The refrigerator was finally completely silent. Absolute, deafening silence. Panic set in. I ran to the front door, twisted the knob. It wasn't locked. I pulled it open with all my might. The door opened onto the shared hallway of the Danchi complex. That same yellow light was everywhere. Outside the hallway window, the sky wasn't the black of night, but a stagnant, dead gray. No wind, no traffic. And then I saw them. My neighbors, Mrs. Tanaka from 204, who always bowed so politely when she saw me. Mr. Sato from 301, always smoking on his balcony. They were standing there, in the hallway. But they weren't still. They were moving, but so slowly it was almost imperceptible, like watching a glacier crawl. I focused on Mrs. Tanaka. She was in the middle of a bow, her head lifting with a twitchy, stuttering motion, like a corrupted video file trying to play. Mr. Sato was raising a cigarette to his mouth, but his arm trembled, moving millimeter by millimeter, as if the very air had turned to molasses, resisting his every motion. Their eyes. God, their eyes. They were wide open, but their pupils were covered with a milky film. They saw me, but they weren't looking at me. Mrs. Tanaka? I called out, my voice cracking, a tiny, fragile sound in this dead world. Instantly, every tiny movement froze. Mrs. Tanaka, Mr. Sato, and 5 others I didn't recognize, all of them stood completely still. The silence held for 1 second, 2. Then, as one, they all turned toward me. It wasn't a smooth motion. It was a series of dry, grinding sounds, as if their necks had rusted hinges being forced to turn. They began to walk towards me, slowly. Their feet scraped across the concrete floor, producing a horrifying, scratchy sound. The sound of dust being disturbed after an eternity. I screamed and scrambled backward. I slammed the door shut, fumbled with the lock. The scraping stopped right outside. Then, a light scratching started on the door itself, not fingernails. It sounded like a dry branch being dragged across metal. I ran back into the apartment. I didn't know where to go. The only place to hide was the bathroom. I lunged inside, slammed the door, and locked it. I leaned against the wood, my heart pounding in my chest. I could hear the scratching. It wasn't at the front door anymore. It was right outside the bathroom. Kato, I held my breath. The voice, it came from inside the bathroom. I turned my head slowly, dreadfully. Standing next to the sink, right where I had been moments before, was a man. He looked exactly like me, wearing my pajamas, my messy hair, but he wasn't me. His eyes were clear, but they held a cold, detached indifference. He looked at me not with fear, but with a strange pity. "They've heard you," he said, his voice even and emotionless. "You broke the silence. They don't like that. Who are you?" I stammered. "What the hell is happening?" Outside, the scratching grew faster, harder. "I am the one who stayed," he said. "And you are the one who should have left. This place, it's for those who stopped. Those who forgot how to move on. They're trapped in their final moment." He looked right at me. "Like you, Kato, you're working yourself to death. You are forgetting." "Forgetting what?" I demanded. The banging on the door intensified. Bang! The wood shook in its frame. "You don't have much time," my double said, unfazed by the noise. He just pointed at the mirror. "This place is unstable. It's a loop, a crack, and your door is closing." I looked in the mirror. My reflection, not him, but me, was fading. My skin was turning translucent. I could vaguely see the yellowed tiles of the wall right through my chest. "No," I whispered. "I don't want to stay here." Then remember, his voice was suddenly urgent, a flash of anger breaking through his calm. "Remember why you must go on. Remember your promise. Hurry. Remember." BANG. A crack spiderwebbed across the bathroom door. Which promise? My mind raced. Work, deadlines, clients. No, not those. Then a memory flashed. Park in springtime. Laughter. Her hand in mine. The sweet scent of cherry blossoms. "Rena, you promised you would never forget me." Her voice echoed in my memory. "Even if I'm gone, you have to live. Live for both of us, Kato." Today was her Memorial Day. I had been working, trying to bury the pain in work. I had stopped living. I had stopped. "Rena," I said, tears finally breaking free. "Yes," my double nodded. He reached for the faucet and turned it. This time, the sound came back. A loud, roaring hiss. Water gushed out like a waterfall, overwhelming my senses. A sickly yellow light in the bathroom flickered violently. He shouted over the noise. "Hold on to it. Hold on to that memory. Close your eyes. Believe the water is real." Bang! The door shattered into splinters. I squeezed my eyes shut. I focused only on the sound of running water, felt the cool moisture on my face, smelled the familiar scent of mold. Darkness enveloped me. Just the sound of water flowing. And then, silence. But this time, it was a true, familiar silence. The refrigerator groaned. The distant subway rumbled. I opened my eyes. I was standing in front of the sink in my bathroom. The fluorescent light was still on. I was drenched in sweat. I looked in the mirror. It was just me. Tired, terrified, but solid. Fully clear. I staggered out of the bathroom. The apartment was exactly as I'd left it. The sketches littered the desk. The computer cursor was blinking patiently. I glanced at the clock. 3:48 a.m. only. Only 4 minutes had passed? It had to be a nightmare. An illusion brought on by extreme exhaustion. Yes, that's all it was. Shaking, I grabbed my phone. I had to call someone. My best friend, Kenji, just to hear a normal voice. I found his name in my contacts. But something on the screen froze my blood. The date. It wasn't April 15th. It was April 16th. I had been missing for 24 hours. Just then, my phone vibrated. Kenji was calling me. I shakily answered. Kato. Kenji's voice was frantic. Oh my God, Kato. Where have you been? We've been looking for you all day yesterday. You didn't show up to Rena's grave. I couldn't speak. Kato, are you there? Kenji yelled. We came to your apartment. The door was locked. We called the police, but they said they couldn't enter without cause. Kato, I'm here. I cut him off, my voice hoarse. I'm home. I think I just fell asleep. Fell asleep? Kenji shouted. You slept for 24 hours. Impossible. Mrs. Tanaka in 204 said she heard you scream last night. Then she said she saw you. An eerie silence hung on the line. Kenji, I asked, my voice trembling. How did she see me? His voice dropped to a whisper. She said she looked through your peephole, saw you standing in the hallway, completely motionless, under that weird yellow light. She called out to you, but you didn't answer. Kato, she said. She said her hand went right through you. I looked down at my own hands, shaking but solid. I have to go, Kenji. I hung up before he could respond. I didn't fall asleep. I had been there. I looked toward the bathroom, its door now slightly ajar. I knew I had returned, but I also knew something else. My double, the one who stayed, he saved me. But what was the price of that return? From the dark gap of the bathroom door, I heard a sound, very faint but unmistakable, a dry, grinding sound, like a rusted vertebra struggling to turn. It was still there, waiting for me to forget. Again.